Today we're going to build a water team in World Flipper. Do note that this is only a sample team and is no way the best water team the game has to offer. We'll do our best to explain each unit and their skills as well as their synergies with each other. If you watched our previous video, we recommended some units to keep during your rerolls. One of those units is Sonya. She can do massive water damage to enemies depending on the number of buffs she has. She can also buff the party's attack by 75%. We'll place Sonya as one of our main units in the party. Sonya is a 5-star water unit. Her skill deals water damage that scales of the number of buffs she has. It increases damage by 10% per buff. She also grants a 75% attack buff to the party for 20 seconds. Her first skill increases own attack by 10% every 30 combos. The maximum is 60%. Her second skill increases own attack buff duration by 30%. Her last skill only activates when she is the main unit. It makes her attack twice with a 50% damage boost. What makes Sonya unique is her skill that acts like a power flip. It can attack enemies as well as block their attacks. The attack range is similar to a power flip. It also boosts the attack damage of the party regardless of element. Her abilities also have synergy with her attack boost. We'll put Walter in as Sonya's sub-unit. Walter is a 3-star unit. His skill reduces fire damage done to all allies by 30 for 20 seconds. He grants himself a greater fire resistance buff of 60 also for 20 seconds. His first ability buffs HP by 12%, making Sonya a bit bulkier. His second ability gives fire resistance debuff immunity and further increases HP by 8%. His last ability only activates when he is the main unit. He takes damage in place of the leader and adds 30% fire resistance and 18% HP. We'll place Alice as the leader of our water team. Alice is a 4-star water unit. Her leader skill increases water units' attack power by 140% while they have 80% or more HP. It is quite a powerful attack power increase as long as you can fulfill the condition. Water units shouldn't have trouble keeping their HP up. Her skill deals water damage in front of her. It also grants the levitate or float buff to the party. Levitate makes units not fall or decelerate. It also makes them immune to gravity fields, wind and tornado enemy effects from battle. Her first ability grants herself a 50% attack buff if she has levitate. Her second ability further buffs her attack by 55% when her HP is above 80%. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It grants another attack buff of 15% every time she recovers HP. The maximum bonus is 90%. Alice hits really hard when all the conditions are met. She can boost her attack power up to a total of 335%. We think she is one of the top water leaders in the game. In order to keep her HP up, we need to utilize healer and tanks. More on those later. We'll put Liesel as her sub-unit. Liesel is another 4-star water unit. Her main job is to restore the party's HP. Her skill restores the HP of all units and the effect is boosted for water units. She heals for 8% and 50% respectively. She also grants an attack power buff of 50% for 15 seconds to all allies. Her first ability increases the HP of all water units by 8%. Her second ability increases water units' attack power by 20% when their HP is at or above 60%. We'll slot in Sharon as our last main unit. Sharon is another 4-star water unit. Her skill does water damage in front of her and debuffs the enemy's water resistance by 25% for 20 seconds. The attack also creates shockwaves that does water damage to nearby enemies. Her first skill increases power flip damage by 25%. Her second skill further increases power flip damage by 25% if she has an attack buff. This has synergy with the units that can grant an attack buff in our party. Her third skill only activates when she is the main unit. It decreases the number of combos needed to power flip LV 3 by 3. It also further increases power flip damage by 40%. We'll place 𝐂𝐈𝐍𝐒 as Sonya's sub-unit. 𝐂𝐈𝐍𝐒 is a 3-star water unit. Her skill increases the attack of all allies by 60% for 15 seconds. It also applies a regeneration buff of 72 for 10 seconds and restores HP by 50% for all water units. However, it inflicts an all-elemental resistance debuff of 50% for 15 seconds. Her first ability increases party members' attack power by 20% when they have 80% or more HP. The condition is similar to Alice's ability, which also activates when party members' HP is 80% or above. Her second ability increases a party member's attack power by 2% every time they recover HP. The maximum amount is 20%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases water units' fire resistance by 20% when they have a debuff. Here is our water team. Alice is the leader of the party with 𝐿𝐍𝐒 as her sub-unit, with Sonya and Sharon at the front lines. Walter and 𝐂𝐈𝐍𝐒 will fill out the roster. Next, we will discuss alternate units in case you don't have these ones. If you don't have Alice, Cypher can also act as the leader of our team. Cypher is a 5-star water unit. She's not in the beginner banner yet. Her leader skill increases water units' attack by 100% while her HP is at 80% or above. When a water unit's HP goes below 80% for the time, she heals the unit for 20% for one time only. The attack buff is slightly lower than Alice's attack buff, but Cypher has a heal attached to her leader skill. Her skill deals water damage to the entire field but doesn't hit weak points. It also inflicts water resistance down debuff of 20% and slow debuff for 20 seconds. Slow halves the speed of any action performed by the boss. It also doubles the duration of weak and break. Her first ability increases the damage of the party if the enemy has the slow debuff by 10%. Her second ability increases water units' attack by 40% if own HP is at 80% or above. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases water units' attack by 60% and fire resistance by 30% when their HP is at 80% or above. We'll still place 𝐿𝐍𝐒 as her sub-unit. Faf can take our second main slot. He is a 3-star water unit. His skill increases the party's attack by 30% for 10 seconds. He also increases fire resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. His first ability increases his fire resistance by 12%. His second ability makes him take damage in place of all units while he has a buff active. It also gives him 88% fire resistance. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases his fire resistance by 9% every time he takes damage 5 times. The maximum is 45%. Faf provides survivability against fire bosses and a bit of attack power similar to Walter's role. We'll place Lassie as Faf's sub-unit. Lassie is another 3-star water unit. Her skill deals water damage in front of her. It scales per number of buffs she has on her for 10% each. It also inflicts slow on the enemy for 20 seconds. This has synergy with Cypher's ability. Her first and second ability increases buff duration to self by 24%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases her attack by 30% if she has an attack buff. It also gives her 50% more skill damage. For our last main slot, we'll place 𝐿𝐶. 𝐿𝐶 is a 4-star water unit. His skill deals water damage around himself for 10 seconds. It also inflicts slow on enemies hit for 20 seconds. This also has synergy with Cypher's skill. His first ability buffs the party's attack by 15% when he has 50% or above HP. His second ability grants the party an attack buff of 20% when he has an attack buff. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases damage dealt to enemies affected by the slow debuff. This has synergy with his skill and Cypher's skill. We'll put Cyrano as 𝐿 sub-unit. Cyrano is a 3-star water unit. Her skill grants invincibility to the party for 5 seconds. Her first ability increases own skill gauge by 80% at the start of battle. 𝐿 will greatly benefit from this. Her second ability increases the party's skill gauge by 30% when they use their skills. The effect only happens once per battle. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases water units' attack by 20% and fire resistance by 15% when own HP is at 80% or above. Here is our water team with alternate units. Cypher slots in for Alice if you don't have her. Faf and 𝐿 will join her on the front lines while Lassie and Cyrano provide support. Cypher and 𝐿 have great synergy when it comes to dealing more damage to enemies affected by slow. Lassie can also inflict slow for Cypher and 𝐿 to take advantage of. Next, we'll talk about recommended weapons for this team composition. 2-star weapon. Increases the attack power by 25% when HP is at least 80%. Tide Wand. 5-star water weapon. Increases the attack power of water units when HP is at least 60%. Oceanus Spear. 5-star water weapon. Increases the attack power of water unit by 20% when they have an attack buff. It also grants an attack power buff of 12.5% at the start of battle. Shellfish Sword. 4-star water weapon. Increases water units' attack by 17.5% when HP is at least 60%. That's it for our water team. If you found this guide useful, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like and share as well. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more videos for World Flipper. Watch out for more team building guides in the coming days. Have fun and we'll see you again next time.